So today I wanted to talk about something that's quite important, and that is how we view ourselves and our perceived flaws. Now, this is something I've struggled with for many years, and firstly I want to just say it's all changeable. So how we view ourselves and how we feel about ourselves, and also how we feel about life, is all changeable. But before I go any further, I just want to touch on a habit and a process that we all find ourselves wrapped up in. So we develop certain beliefs and certain ways of behaving. So for example, a belief like I don't fit in, a belief like I'm not confident enough, and ways of behaving, maybe avoiding speaking up, not being firm with our boundaries, not doing things that feel uncomfortable even though they're in alignment with our actual goals and our values. So we develop these beliefs and these ways of behaving through past experience. So thinking about the I don't fit in or I'm not confident enough, this may come from, just for example, maybe if someone went to school and they were freely expressing themselves, just kind of being playful, and then maybe having people laugh at them and maybe isolate them. So the things that we believe as a result of those kind of events is that I don't fit in, I'm not good enough, it's not safe to be myself. So the behaviours then that we engage in are, shrinking, hiding, being quiet when actually you want to say something. We have these beliefs and these kind of behavioural habits, and because of that sort of wiring, we end up feeling and thinking thoughts that are in alignment with those beliefs. And we act from that place, so we behave in ways that actually mirror our thoughts and our feelings. And then what happens? Well, the world reflects back to us the same. So that belief that we have about ourselves not being good enough, not being confident, not being good at X, Y, and Z gets strengthened over time. And then on top of the beliefs, on top of the behaviours, on top of the actual life experience that we have, we layer over all of that with self-criticism. So I'm not good enough and I'm going to make myself feel like crap about it. Now, the thing to realise, to remember, is that we are not actually that small, limited, flawed little thing that we often think of ourselves as. And our negative self-perceptions and beliefs are really just ideas, really just stories. And they're based on behaviours that are essentially just mechanisms of self-protection. We're just trying to survive. That are themselves, those behaviours come from difficult past experiences. So the brain learns, like, okay, it's not safe to speak up because in this situation it wasn't safe, or it had this negative consequence, so in the future you better shut up. These ways of being and these ways of seeing things, and ultimately these ways of feeling and living, can be temporary if we make that choice. Because our most natural state is infinite in terms of strength, creativity, the ability to love and to be loved. And the more we actually resist who we are, because we've labelled ourselves as wrong in this way or that way, the more we become someone we're not, the more we contract. The more we become someone actually we don't want to be, and someone who has the life that actually we don't want. So in order to expand into the higher version of ourselves, the truest version of ourselves, and transcend all the fears and all the struggles and the blocks to happiness, we have to decide to stop resisting who we think we are. So this isn't about changing or being someone else. It's actually becoming or allowing ourselves to reconnect with all that we actually are, which is way beyond what we actually think on a day-to-day. So how do we do this? How do we expand into the highest version of ourselves so that we can actually start thinking, feeling and acting in ways that feel really good and that allow us to experience the best of life? Well, firstly, I know that all of this may sound very spiritual, but it's also very scientific. So our habits of feeling and thinking are wired in by networks of neurons in our brain. So that belief that you have about yourself, that lingering self-doubt or that story about you or about what's possible for you, has a neurological underpinning. And the wonderful thing is that we can choose to either, what we tend to do is to reinforce those neural networks by doing and saying and therefore feeling the same thing over and over, or we can create new ones, new ways of thinking, new ways of feeling. So we can actually become our true self and really just allow our true selves to be through the skillful use of our attention, through training our minds. So, for example, when I catch myself resisting who I am, saying, oh, I can't do this, or I'm not good at that, or I don't want to do that because I feel this about that, I see that more and more as an entry point to then decide, actually, who is it that I want to be? How is it that I want to feel? I give myself a target. And just that act of switching the attention from what is quote unquote wrong to what is desired and what is actually true is powerful. It allows me to, instead of reinforcing an old story, to create a new one, to start feeling different, start seeing things differently. And over time, as a result of doing this over and over, I have been able to begin stepping into someone who actually is confident, who actually is open and is really good in social situations, someone who knows that actually she is enough. Whatever it is that is bugging you, whatever it is that makes you feel contracted, it is entirely changeable. So whatever you think your Achilles heel is, or the thing you're just not good at, or the thing you can't do, or the thing that, is stopping you from going where you want to go in your life, remember, that is not you. That is not you. That is a story that you can decide to rewrite. When you begin to take these steps, you're going to start to feel different. And you can make this a new habit. Feeling a different way can become a habit. And when it becomes a habit, the world is going to look different. And you will see how life around you has so much more potential than you thought. Just a quick few action points to end. So 1, notice the thoughts and the labels that make you feel contracted. So I am X, or I feel X about Y. Just noticing and maybe writing those down. Step 2 is recognize that this is just a story, an idea, fiction. And number 3, redirect your attention to what you actually want to feel. So write that down. How do I want to feel about this job or this task or this person or this event? How do I want to act? What do I want to happen? So start to weave the story of what you actually desire, of what you desire to feel, or what you desire to be, or what you desire to occur. And feel into it. Like, how does it feel? Visualize it. That's helping your brain say, okay, this is how things are. This is how I feel. This is my reality. You're not who you think you are. You are so much stronger, so much more amazing, so much more capable, more loved, more loving, inspiring, impactful. And the more you allow yourself to believe this, the more you will see it. So that's my message for today. I hope this finds you well, and looking forward to next time. Take care.